Couple announcements I want to make real briefly is that I am seeing people for appointments on Zoom, FaceTime, and telephone. And so please, if you need help in that, let me know if you're lacking in any way. And I can help you out with that. And for any of the workshops, Lynn knows what to do to help you out if you feel that you really need help financially with that. And other than that, please do feel free to go to the website. There's a place where you can gift and support. And let's see what else. I said the appointments. I said the gifting, supporting. Now one thing that we're going to be doing, which is really cool. We decided. I talked to Lynn about this, and she thinks it's a wise move too, is to do a healing circle every week, and which is really neat. And what we're going to do with the gathering is every other week. Then there's a lot more people that are going to be coming on board eventually for the healing circle, and I think that's a wise move. And then I want to save a lot of the big questions for that people have for the gathering every other week. They were actually turning, because they were every week, they were turning into healing circle, and so I wanted to nip that in the bud and keep it, every other week. Hopefully, people will have more questions. And let's see, we have an event coming up in June in Phoenix, which is really going to be awesome. I just came back from Phoenix last week, and I'll be leaving for Phoenix on the 16th and the 17th. I have 17th and 18th. I have two healing circles, one in Gold Canyon for the apprentice, and who lives there, and the other one at Snaps, Scottsdale neighborhood, our place. And this last time they were just filled. It was really nice. And then a pleasant amount of people. I loved it. And the appointments were totally booked, which was great. And then eventually I'm going to do a one-day workshop in Phoenix, another one. I'm not sure on what yet. It's whatever people are going to be attracted to, what they feel they want. And then I'm not going to do prospecting this coming time, but so it's a long drive to go prospecting. So I'm going to do it maybe every other time or every 3 times, or third time, I mean. And other than that, we have a June event coming up, which is really awesome. And it's going to be advancing, it's going to be a 4-day workshop, and it's going to be called Advancing Your Intuitive Abilities. And I will teach that very deeply. Hey, Allison, hi. Hey, how you doing? And thanks for being here in the other group, Allison. I really appreciate it. I wish I could see you, but you're coming through on the Facebook, I guess. And I really appreciate your being here, Allison. And I wish you would come onto the Zoom so I can see you. And then let's see. Yeah, if we have time for the healings with all the questions, hopefully that we'll have. Then we'll get to the healings. And then I'll work with you. And then let's see. So we got that event coming up in Phoenix. And this Saturday, we have a workshop, a 2-hour workshop. If anyone's interested, it's only $45, and it'll be 2 hours, and that'll be on healing technique and experiential stuff as well. It's not for giving healings like a healing circle. It'll be a class on how you can apply this in your life with yourself and other people. And then starting Monday is a 4-day workshop, an hour and a half a day for 4 days. And that will be on healing as well, advanced healing. So I do recommend that. It's an awesome class. It will be an awesome class. All classes are unique and different. Even if they have the same titles, they're still going to be unique according to the mind of the people. All right. I can't think of anything else. Lynn, if you can think of anything, please, share it with me or post it up there. First questions and the gathering, please, I want to keep it mostly or at first to the questions. And I think that's really important. Let me see here. This is from, oh, we got a lot of messages here. All right. This is from the apprentice. You'll be here for half an hour. Question is, isn't everything spirit? No. My understanding and my experience and my belief is that spirit moves everything, but everything isn't spirit, or else we'd be all pure spirit. And if that were true, and we wouldn't have the forms that we had in our bodies, and we wouldn't have any solid objects at all. But maybe in some other realm, this realm is more spirit than that realm. I don't want to get too confusing over that. But spirit isn't everything. It's what moves everything. Spirit is a carrier. And the analogies I always give is that back in the old days, the 1800s, there was the spirit of 76. It carried something. It carried a feeling, it carried a sense, it carried a manifestation to it. It carried an activity. That's what the spirit is. It carries something. It's a carrier. And so, in the biblical sense, the spirit moved across the face of the water and brought life. It's a carrier of life, of whatever form of life, whether it be mental or physical or spiritual. In what we call spiritual. So it's a carrier of whatever we're commanding in some sense, whatever we're projecting. It's a carrier of that. So I hope that answers your question on that. And let's see. The next question was, isn't spirit and so possible? Isn't everything spirit? Okay. And if so, is it possible for a medical issue to be only physical? I'm not sure I understand. Medical issues are in this physical life, but we're a part of this world. And being a part of this world, we participate in it, whether it be the ups and downs or whether it be physical manifestations of something not correct in our bodies, or even in emotional. I don't know how to put a percentage to this, but approximately, give or take, 75 to 90% of what we experience is what we have projected into experience. And the spirit, how that fits in, it's non-discerning. It just reacts to us, whatever we want. Just like the spirit of 76, it brought an activity into that time, that era of what those people were beginning to feel and develop, which created a wonderful activity at that time, and a lot of work, a lot of everything. Freedoms people were experiencing. They wanted to come together to create a big party in life. And so, not really a party, but you get my drift. And so that's what the spirit does. And the medical situations, oftentimes, are what we create. Like with worry, say if we worry a lot, we'll most often, not all the time, but most often develop an ulcer. It's just part of the ball game. Or if we injure ourselves, hitting ourselves, we've done that. And so whatever means we take, is what the spirit is going to be active with. It's non-discerning. It doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person or anything else. Whatever you want is going to carry the activity, depending upon how much activity you put into it. and it's going to help fulfill. So that's my answer for that. And question two, are we brought to this place of existence in some cases to work things out? Yes, our soul is what carries the remembrance of what to work out, even though, say, we don't work it out the first time. Then the souls, when we're more ready for it, and we've evolved in our life, then the soul will present it in a different way to be worked out. And these are the things that we're working out always. Anything that rubs us wrong in life or feels awkward in life is something to take a look at, because that's to be worked out. Anything we think is great in life, we may have fulfilled it, but we don't have to work out, or it's what uh, the greater mind thinks that we don't need to go through that, and we can have it good this time for some reason or another. And there's a lot more to it, but that's my basic answer. And so not everything, well, most things I should say, are to be worked out. It's just like when someone says something to you and rubs you the wrong way, we're going to react. Maybe our soul has led us into that direction, that it's time to learn not to react and replicate it. It's just like, admiring people, the same concept. When we admire someone, those are the things we admire about ourselves but haven't recognized yet in ourselves. And the things that we dislike about someone are things that we're yet to meet about ourselves, to be worked out. And I hope that makes sense, Prentice. So good questions, very, very good questions. And the last question is, are we brought into this plane of existence in some cases to work things out, or do we choose to incarnate? No such thing as contracts. I don't know where someone came up with that from. I guess they were trying to find a way to explain. But no contracts. They don't exist. The soul is going to always present to us every moment of our life of what we're about, as far as working something out within ourselves, which means to recognize, recognize, change the mind, if that makes sense. And I hope that makes sense for you there. Good questions. Hey, Mariko's here. Yay. Thanks for being here, Mariko. Good to see you from Japan. Yay. Love it. Love it. And Lynn put up on the comment board, Healing and Techniques, May 22nd, 12 to 1:30. 12 to 1:30. May 22nd is Saturday, 12 to 2. I'm sorry, that's the basic course. Yes. And advanced, here it is, from 12 to 1:30 on May 24th to the 27th. And in June, we're going to be doing the workshop, Advance Your Intuitive Abilities. And I'll really get into that with y'all and help you to recognize it within yourselves and to learn, give you substance to develop it within yourselves. That's going to be an awesome workshop, a 4-day workshop. And again, if anyone needs help on that, please, Lynn knows what to do. So approach her, and her email is admin@markehrlich.com. So do take advantage of those 2 workshops. And let's see here. Allison says hello. Allison, I hurt my hand really bad. Oh my God. Could be broken, but I think a bad sprain. I'd love a healing if you can. Yeah, I can do a healing. There's so few of us, which is really nice. So let me work with your hand, and if I'm correct, it's your right hand, and also in here, if I'm correct. And I may not be, but if I am. So let me work with that. And please, Allison, and be as still as you can while I'm doing this. It'll help. Personally, I'm not a doctor, but I don't perceive of any break in there. And part of the injury will retain through tomorrow, but then you'll notice that there'll be, in my perception, there might be a lot more freer movement in there. So there you go, my dear friend. I hope you experienced something while we were doing this. And thanks for asking me to do that, Allison. And Mariko, my mother said spirituality and religious beliefs are the same. I think she's confused. They are different. I can't explain. The religious is following a doctrine, and that's my understanding of religion. Not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong, or anything else. It helps people on their path, and their soul attracts them to that. All of us have been in it to varying degrees in some way or another, either another time and place, or this time and place, or in the potential future. Nothing wrong. It's all part of a path. And the spirituality is acknowledging that source within ourselves and all around, and in other people and situations and places and things and everything else. It's finding the spirituality. So that's my quickie definition of it. And I hope that satisfies your mother if you explain it to her, or for your own satisfaction in understanding it. And that's a good point. Good point. And Allison wrote, yes, it was her right hand. And Allison wrote, yep. And I could feel pain, then felt better. Good. Good. I'm very glad about that, Allison. And again, every week will be the Healing Circle, except for June, when I go out of town that week. The week of the 21st, I believe it is. There's no Healing Circle. And so let me make sure. Circle. Yeah, no Healing Circle on Tuesday the 22nd. But there will be a gathering on the 23rd when I'm back. And that'll all be on the website at markehrlitz.com. So please feel free to go there and check out the events. And this new workshop coming up, Advance Your Intuitive Abilities, is not on there yet. And I'll be sending Lynn the information on it, and then it'll be posted. Let's see here. Any other questions or comments that I can try to answer, please? Please, Irene, go ahead.
You say that the soul is the path of experience, which from your previous comments I get. But you say it's always searching externally for guidance from the physical and the scientific realm of our lives. That confused me a bit, because I thought the soul was the man in charge. So
no.
it's seeking, so I was a little confused.
Yes. It's a huge explanation, but I'll try to make it short. The soul is the path of the path of experience that is always being presented to us based upon our experience of what we're needing to go through in our life in order to evolve to get to know ourselves. And so we need, in order for our growth, we live on this world, on this orb, in this physicality. And so we need the physical and the scientific in order to help us to grow. And it gives us a guidance of what to grow into according to what our soul directs us into. And the soul is going to direct us into what we're seeking for any given moment, if that answers your question. Boy, that was a good one, Mark. You know?
I was curious. The other path I'd like to learn more about is when you speak of the light. And I understand about the light, but I don't know how to see more of the light around people. When you say, if you want to know if something is true or not, ask it to step into the light. I'm a little lacking in the light.
If you want to experience being able to see it, there's a few ways. One is to come to one of the workshops. And then I am more direct with people in front of me. And I present the light to them. I get to show them the light. And which is, it's neat, but at the same time, they get to experience that's the purpose of it. They get to see how real it might be in their life and other people's lives and all life, even around a animate or inanimate, around a animate object, even around a plant or anything. You'll open up to that.
So I'll save it for the workshop.
Yeah. And what was the other part of your question, hon?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
All right.
Thank you.
And but what I do also, if you can, it's like you know how you become lazy-eyed and you're looking through your peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Well, if we do that, focusing on a object or a person, say about,
I've done that. Yeah.
yeah, and
I've done that.
And do you see anything with it?
Oh, it's too, I got to work at it. It's not easy.
Yeah, it takes practice.
Sometimes it's more of a, instead of sight, it's more of a feeling. But when you say,
but feeling has pictures, or else you wouldn't know how to identify with that feeling.
oh,
We
all right.
don't know that,
Okay.
but we have to find that.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a
And then-
spiritual experience to find that.
Okay.
And then we find that it develops within us even more so once we've found it. It begins to develop more and more and more.
Okay.
But everything takes practice because we've learned so well the ways of the world.
No, that I see. Yeah. The whole wondering thing, I practiced that a lot. And that's working like magic. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's amazing for me too. The first time I ever experienced it, I guess I was ready for it. I went up to, I was in Chicago walking around the streets there in this university area, and I was going past this one storefront that said Tai Chi upstairs. And I didn't know what Tai Chi was back in the 60s and never heard of it before. And so I said, well, okay. And there was this big finger on this painted board that pointed up. So I said, hey, that's an invite. And so I went upstairs and there was this huge gymnasium floor. And there were a bunch of people in the bleachers. It was filled with people in the bleachers. And in the middle of the floor, there were maybe 20 or 30 people or maybe more doing what I learned later to be katas, which were forms where they were moving. And I had never seen anything like this before. They were all wearing white uniforms. And so I just went around the whole place and into the bleacher area, and these two big guys, there was a little space. I moved my way in between them. I actually pushed them, and they moved over for me. And I just sat there and I watched the people on the floor doing this slow motion dance, I thought. And I thought it was amazing because they were all doing it exactly at the same time and same movements. And then as I was watching them in curiosity and wondering, what is this? What is this? Then all of a sudden, this light burst out of all of them, and it was doing the movement before they were. And I was so shocked. I hit the guy next to me. I said, "Did you see that?" And he looked at me like I was nuts. And though I watched it for a while and I saw it was just consistent, and I got enough. And so I walked out, I left after they thought I was nuts too. And I just left. And from then on, I started trying to watch with observation. I saw that I was focusing on these people and I got to see that. So then I started realizing that I could see movement before people moved. Or then it led into eventually, which I'll teach in the intuition workshop, it led into eventually I can understand what people can do next.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I don't practice this stuff. It's just, happens when it happens. If I practiced it, I can make it more often. But I prefer just working with healing.
Yeah.
And so,
It's
good.
amazing.
It is. It blows me away all the time too.
Oh,
And The Apprentice, she leaves in 5 more minutes, more questions. Are there parts of God? No, in my perception, no. There's only one divinity, and there's all different realms within that one divinity, and we get to choose the realm at any given moment of what we're dwelling within in our life, and that's all I know about that. Basically, there's all different consciousnesses in the one consciousness, in the one mind of that divinity of the godliness. And we all get to participate in our way through our free will. Good question, though. Good question. And what are the characteristics of the divine aspect of people? What are the characteristics? Light, light in their life, light in their movement, light in what they express. Those are divine. And not that we're individually divine, but we are in some sense, because we're created in the image of God. And so therefore we have the ability to recreate, and therefore we are co-creators. So we're participating in that divinity, that divineness. And that's all the aspects that I know, really. Otherwise, we're going to try to break it apart, and then we're not going to understand the cause. The more we try to break it apart. My perception, the world according to Garth Mark, and what I understand and experience. These are my aspects in what I try to teach. So, hey there, Christy Sweet. How you doing, young lady?
Hi. I forgot I had to get a link to get on, and I'm like, wait, I couldn't seem to find out how. But Lynn sent me a link. Thank you, Lynn.
And tell me something, Christy. Were you able to hear any of the other dialogue from the Facebook thing that we've been talking about, or you just
No, I just got it.
Man, good stuff. Good stuff. Really good stuff.
I'll try to see what's in the chat if I can.
No problem. If you get to replay this, great.
Yes, that would be great.
And so, quick question for you, Christy. Where are you located around?
A suburb of Philadelphia, southern Chester County, right along the Maryland-Delaware lines.
All right.
Amish country, out in the country.
God.
Like Lynn. We have the well outside, that kind of stuff.
All right.
I'm kidding.
I get it. And so, yeah. And so those are in my understandings within myself, the divine characteristics of that divinity, of that godliness that we all carry. And but as we wonder about things, we get to participate in that divinity within, and it shares with us. The more we wonder about something, the more it participates in our life because we're allowing it to. And then at the same time, we're filled with that grace that's being given to us. But it has to start in some place. And that place for me in my life is I wonder about stuff. And that's how I get to find out about it. And that's how the grace comes upon me. Because I'm participating in allowing it to express to me from my wonderment. Same thing with a little child. Not saying I'm a kid, but though I may be, but I
Me
do
too.
dumb things. But at the same time, that's where the grace comes in, I think, as we participate in its world, as we allow it to participate in our world. And there's an openness then. And that's what I enjoy. And then we get to see light. We get to experience, working with others in healing, because it's doing it really. We're not doing anything. And that's how we get to, even knowingly or unknowingly, participate in the intuitions, which is the inner teachings. And so we wouldn't perceive the inner teachings or the intuitions or the ability to work with healing if we know everything. Because if we know, we're cutting it off. Because it's us that's doing it and not allowing that divinity to do it, because we don't need it, we know. And this way, we get to participate in allowing it to do it. That's why you'll find a lot of people that are gifted in their sense, they fall away from the gifts that they began to portray, but weren't able to portray them after the fact because they thought they were doing it. And so as long as we keep the old man or woman upstairs in mind, that's what matters. That's what really matters. Great questions. Great questions. And so that was your answer, Apprentice. Yeah, that was from the Apprentice. Good, good, good. And oh, this is good, but I have to go. Bye all, she would say. And right. And Christy's on. Lynn says, "You're welcome, Christy." And Samantha has a question. Please, Samantha.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
I had a question about, spiritual teachers. Not you, but a certain person. We'll just call him Steve. That's not his name, though. But I just had a question. I've been working with him for several years now. We would have a session maybe about once a month, and then all of a sudden, it just stopped. And I just felt like that wasn't a really good way to handle it when you've been working with somebody and as a healer. And he's a wonderful person. And I don't think he, I felt just kind of betrayed and hurt, but he didn't mean it that way, because I know his heart. He's a wonderful person. And because his belief is that, that you don't attach to anything. He doesn't believe in attachments. And it's just, I don't know how those kind of spiritual beliefs you live with in the real world. So, for example, to be a little more specific, he divorced his first wife, because he said Spirit sent him a vision of a knot being untied. And then he was engaged and with a girlfriend for 10 years and just recently ended it with her because he felt like he got a message from Spirit. And he's hurting like all these people along the way. And, his girlfriend's heart was broken. And I said, next time you meet someone, why don't you just tell them up front that you're a very spiritual person and you listen to your spirit, your guides, and that at any minute it could end. And he said, well, that's kind of harsh. I said, but what you're doing is harsh. You're breaking all these women's hearts, And like I said, for me, we just had a teacher-student relationship, and it just stopped. And I don't know, I was just really kind of hurt by that, or just felt not so much hurt, I guess, just that, you could have just handled it a better way. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a question on that, or do you want me to just comment?
I guess the question is, so like I said, I know he's a really good person and a spiritual person. And if that is the spiritual beliefs, how can you, I don't know how to ask it. How can you practice those in the real world and not just step on people?
Yeah. Firstly, everyone is spiritual within themselves. And there's times that we allow that spirit to move through us, the spirit of what it's carrying to move through us, of what we're drawing upon. But at the same time, how long can we handle it? And then we go off base, we get out of kilter. And we create, sometimes I don't want to be harsh when I'm saying this necessarily, we create false gods. And so that's a possibility. Not saying that he was a false god, creating a false god or anything else, but we're finding ourselves in those situations.
Okay.
Learning to find ourselves because we're out of kilter.
Yeah.
And I go out of kilter at times too. I don't know anyone who doesn't. Show me a perfect person, I'll follow them anywhere. And I go through stuff. I know that everyone does, but when I'm with people, I know they come first.
Okay.
That's the most important thing to me. And if I can't handle it, I make arrangements where I'm not going to be with people in my life. Or if I have another project, I know that I cannot be with people if something else is going on.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, there's a prophet on every street corner. And so I think it's one thing that we're here to understand within ourselves is, and we get this through wondering, the ability to wonder and asking, is that how can we be objective in life? How can we be discerning in life? And that turns us into a vehicle for the movement of spirit to come forth. If we can learn objectivity and being observant at the same time, and we have to ask ourselves, how can I do this, God or boss or whatever? And then that helps us to be on our path, not someone else's path. That's what I believe is important, because we're always discovering ourselves, and we always can present to ourselves, okay, share with me, show me something, and you name what it is, or you decide what you want to get into in your life. How do I participate in this, God? Or share with me what avenue I take for this, or what can you tell me about this? And that turns us into that true self-expression. Does that almost make sense, Sam?
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
So the idea is to be objectively observant.
Okay.
Then we're not taking it personal, nor do we have to participate in someone else's game. And they'll be attracted to us. most often, unless they can't face us
Mhm.
because they see that we might be living a truth within ourselves and like a child, you know, they can't talk you, whatever. I hope that makes sense.
I think so.
Any questions about that I could try to answer? That'll help it.
When you were saying that, when you're working with people, you put them first, and if you're not in a good
Right.
place, you remove yourself, so
You
it just,
have to.
yeah,
Yeah, you have to in order to perceive something or for something to happen. You
okay,
have to, or else it's you.
yeah,
It's me doing it. And I don't want to do it because it's either not going to last or not going to work.
okay. I kind of feel like he's kind of lost and he's trying to work on something he has to work out for himself,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Let him have his space, his freedom to do that.
Yeah,
But I know then if I have that experience with someone,
mhm,
let's say giving me guidance or direction, hypothetically, that I might want to go to for guidance or direction, then if I see, I'll know not to go to them because they're going through something.
yeah, yes, I have not done that.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're trying to be a fixer.
Yes,
Doesn't work.
no,
And we're not here to fix the world.
yeah. Well, it especially wouldn't work in this situation because our role was he's the teacher and I'm the student,
Sure.
you know?
And how long can you stand in the light, the true light? You know, and I don't know of many people in this world that can actually stand in the light and live there.
Could
So,
you,
but everyone has aspects of that within them that we might be attracted to, that they can share something with us to help us develop. And then you go on.
okay,
Otherwise, we're being a fixer.
yeah.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Thank you.
Sure. Sure. Please, any other questions I could try to answer? Anything? Please, Christy, turn on your mic.
Oh, I just wanted to say, a couple of us signed up for Saturday, so that's
Cool.
still on, right?
I believe so.
Okay,
I
Good.
believe so.
we did sign up today, so we're hoping to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what, I mean, can I ask what are we covering in that, or is this not?
Yeah, it's working
The
with
right
healing technique and
Okay.
and understanding firstly where I'm coming from with it, and how I want to be able to relate to you, that it can be easy in working with yourself and other people,
Okay.
and where I draw my life of doing that from, and just
Good.
taking it away with that. Yeah. Now,
Great.
hopefully the class will go. It's an experiment on a Saturday,
Mhm.
and
I just saw it today. I was like, oh my gosh.
yes, I know. And Lynn also is putting that out in varying ways, but we have to find out who to put it out to besides our main group,
Mhm.
and so we'll see. We'll see.
Great.
And
Oh, I hope so.
if it doesn't go, I'll make it up to you in a big way, as far as other classes or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Saturday works for me because working during the week is a
I
little bit
know a
tough.
lot of people you would think, but it's tapping into the right amount of people,
Mhm.
the right groups and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
we're developing that and trying to learn how to do that. And so we
Great.
just wanted to experiment this one Saturday, and then for the future, because I feel that Saturday, I've been asked for a long, long time now, why don't you give Saturday classes? And so it's finding those people, that are interested in that on
Did
Saturday.
Did it just get posted? I actually just kind of found it today.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's why I said.
very
it
recently
might-
it posted, yeah.
Okay. Teresa too signed up. So
Yes, which
Yeah.
is awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
I did send it out to a bunch of people and said, "Hey, we're doing this. Does anybody want to join?" So
Cool. Yeah, it's only $45.
yeah, that's what I saw. But
Yeah.
so
And
yeah, that's cool. So I read the both of the books, and I really enjoyed the Flow of Life meditation.
whoa,
And that's an amazing, quite an amazing meditation. I did it one Saturday night over a pretty good span of time, and it was just
Wow.
mind blowing.
yeah,
So I really enjoyed that. So you just wrote that? Did that just
Yeah,
come
all of
to
them.
you?
yeah.
Really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flow of life, and then there's the egg
Yeah.
egg meditation, and that is
Yes.
that's from my order. That's what I was taught my first day that I was taught anything in novice training, and in the
Mhm.
novice program, my teacher sat me down and took me through it,
Yeah.
and I said, "Great," I've never forgotten that, and that was the most mind-blowing meditation I've ever done in my life. So I put all these on audio,
All right. Right.
and so they're also in the audio book from Nightingale Conant, "Awaken the Healer Within" audio book,
Mm-hmm.
and they're available there if you should ever get that. And I would wait for a
Great.
sale from them, until they sold it at a real cheap price. And I think right now it's going for $40, $39. But originally it went for I think it was 200 or 189 or something like that. And
Wow.
now, yeah, and it was a #1 seller too, which was awesome for quite a while from Nightingale Conant. And then, but now they have other authors, that they're promoting, Wayne Dyer, Deepak, and all this other stuff, and business authors and stuff like that. So they put mine at a sale price, and a lot of people are getting it, which is good. And they don't have it on sale right now, but sometimes I've seen it as low as $19. I would take advantage of it.
Wow.
They see these, it's awesome. It is awesome.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I
And
enjoyed the books a lot. Both of them
Yeah.
are fantastic. So
And the audiobook has about maybe 50 more pages worth of information than the written book.
wow.
And now I'm also working on another book
Oh,
pertaining to healing and intuition, which is going to be really put out there in the world.
awesome.
Yeah,
When will that be out? Do you know yet? Or
in about a year, because it
Okay.
takes the publishing houses quite a while, but it'll be on Amazon, I'm hoping, in half that time.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, that make sure that we know. Maybe put it
Yeah.
on the Facebook page or something. So
Yeah,
I
it'll be
can
well
order that.
promoted. Yeah.
Great. I'll be looking for
Unlike
it.
everything else that I've
Forward
ever
to it.
done.
What's that?
Unlike everything else I've ever done. So
Oh, well, I'll be looking for it. So I had you pray for my knees before. I don't know if you're doing any praying tonight, but they're both just really sore. And my
both
left.
did you notice a difference when I did work with them?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
like I had did something to my left knee. I mean, it was very painful. And then you prayed for it 1 week and it felt better. And then I came back 2 weeks again. And actually when I stood up after that, it popped twice, like just little, not a big pop, just little pops. And then it was on its way to healing. But I mean, it's bad. Yeah. So like it was then where I wasn't in pain. And then I've been trying to baby it for, like 6 weeks, 8 weeks now.
Yeah, I
And,
understand that.
but they're just sore.
Okay.
I think it's just a part of old age.
I don't use that term. It's touring.
Okay.
All right. Your body's maturing. All right. So I'm going to work on your left knee or both.
The left is the worst one, and
Okay.
then, but both of them are, yeah.
And you may sense something happening. It might be subtle or dramatic, hon. There. All right, stretch your knee out a little bit and tell me if you notice any difference, and then stand up, hon.
Okay. I heard your noise.
Everyone's hearing it.
Let's see. I can't tell, like, I mean, it's not like it's super painful. They're just really achy and stuff.
Right, let's see if this doesn't help, though.
Okay, good.
And let me do one little last quick thing with it. Especially.
Okay.
See, I feel a lot of life force flowing through your left leg, knee.
Hmm.
I'll bet you anything it heals quickly.
I hope so. I'd love to be. I had a youth group with the kids tonight, and they're all playing kickball, and I was like, "Nah, I don't think I should try that right now." And I was like, "Oh, I really."
Yeah, I advocate don't ever do exercise. All
It's
right.
just fun, you know. But,
Irene,
okay, well,
please.
I appreciate that. Thank you very
Sure.
much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Keep me updated too, please, if you don't mind.
I will. I will. Thank
Right.
you.
Irene, talk to me.
Yes. What?
Anything you'd like me to work with, please.
Oh, I'd love you to work with my girlfriend Gracie here. Right, let me,
Okay. Let me see her. Let me see her. Where is that little girl? There's Gracie.
Oh.
She says, Mom, I'm scared. I'm facing the wall. Hi, Gracie. I can see you. Hi, Gracie.
Uh-oh. There she is.
Good girl.
Wait until she hears that noise.
she had a broken leg when she was a puppy. She's a rescue. And
Oh,
now she's old. It's really given her a lot of trouble. So
okay.
I think it's this leg. I'm not sure. I forget. So
She might want to move around a little bit. I don't know.
what do you want? What?
No, she might get a feeling to move.
Oh, okay. When I run my hands over her, she like her leg shakes. It's funny. What's going on, Grace?
Yeah, I felt like a consciousness breaking. So let's see if that doesn't help the discomfort or irritation or inflammation within her.
Thank you so much.
Sure, sure, my pleasure. And anything with you, my dear? How are we doing? Irene, anything with you?
Oh, it can wait. I'm good.
All righty. Well, any other final questions before we boogie?
No, I'm good.
All righty. Now, tell
Thank
me
you.
something, Christy, do you notice any difference in your knee yet? Be candid, please.
It does feel less achy. Yeah, I do
All right.
feel less achiness.
Let's see if this isn't the catalyst for it to quicken in its healing now.
Okay, great.
All right.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Blessings, y'all. Thank you so
Appreciate
much for being here. And
Thank you.
I'm honored. And enjoy your lives. That's what it's for. That's what they're for. And have fun and blessings to you.
Thank you. You too.
Blessings to you.
And
Thank
next
you.
week, and then we start the healing circle every week, except for that one time in June. So, all right, hon. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.